Have you ever wondered what financial advisors would tell you if you said your goal was to become a millionaire? I have. That's why I asked 10,000 of them, and I'm going to tell you what they told me in this video. I am one of the only people in the entire world who can do this. My name is James Pollard. I host the Financial Advisor Marketing Podcast. It has hundreds of episodes, and it's one of the most downloaded podcasts in the entire financial advice industry. I also run a company called The Advisor Coach, which has helped tens of thousands of financial advisors over the past 8 years. Long story short, I've met with a ton of financial advisors, and one of my favorite questions to ask them is, what advice would you give someone who wants to become a millionaire? Here are the most common things they've told me. Number one, live below your means. This was by far the most common piece of advice financial advisors gave me, and if you think about it, it makes sense. After all, it's literally impossible to become a millionaire if you spend more than you make. Sadly, many Americans live paycheck to paycheck. Lending Club did a survey and found that 54% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, including nearly 40% of people who make over $100,000 per year. Truthfully, if you're making more than $100,000 per year, there's almost certainly some wiggle room in your budget in order to get to below your means. Some of the biggest areas that ruin people's ability to live below their means are houses, cars, and dining out. If you can trim those three things, even just a little bit, then you can live below your means and begin saving money. And that actually brings me to the second piece of advice, which is save more money. Again, this makes total sense. And it seems like obvious advice. However, according to the Bureau of Economic Analysis, the average American savings rate is only 3.9%. That means if you're making $50,000 per year, you're only saving $1,950. That makes it difficult to implement the next piece of advice, which is max out your Roth IRA. And this could have been your 401k, your traditional IRA, your Roth 401k. There are so many different options. Essentially, you should take advantage of a tax-favored retirement vehicle. Financial advisors love the Roth IRA, and for good reason. It's a tax-advantaged account that lets your investments grow tax-free. And when you're aiming for $1 million, every tax break counts. Plus, since it's after tax, when you have $1 million in that account, you know that you have, for sure, $1 million. Uncle Sam isn't going to come and take more of it. There are things called the mega backdoor Roth and the regular backdoor Roth and the Roth 401k, but don't worry about any of that right now if you're brand new. Let's assume you're going to max out just the regular old Roth IRA. Let's assume that you invest that amount this year and every single year for 35 years, from age 30 to age 65. Assuming an 8% annual rate of return, you will have more than $1.2 million. Number four, invest in low-cost index funds. Now, where should you put that Roth IRA money? Financial advisors overwhelmingly recommended low-cost index funds, and here's why. They're a simple, easy, effective way to diversify your portfolio. Index funds are designed to mimic the performance of a specific index like the S&P 500. In simple terms, when you buy an index fund, you're buying a tiny little piece of all of the companies inside that index. Yes, that's right. You can become a tiny, tiny, tiny little owner of Apple, Microsoft, Walmart, and so on. Because index funds hold so many different stocks, they offer instant diversification. This reduces your risk compared to buying individual stocks. Index funds are also passively managed, which means they just try to match the index rather than beat it. This results in lower fees, which can make a huge difference over the long term. Number five, increase your income. This is something that, again, makes mathematical sense. If you save and invest $10,000 per year, you will reach the $1 million mark faster than someone who only invests $5,000 per year, all else being equal. Many personal finance books, blogs, and YouTube channels place a large emphasis on frugality. And don't get me wrong, that's really important. However, income matters a lot. A big reason why income matters so much is because many of the components of cost of living remain the same no matter what your income is. Electricity costs the same amount of money per kilowatt hour, whether it's in a mansion or a one-bedroom apartment. And a tube of toothpaste costs the same amount of money whether you're a billionaire or someone living in poverty. The trick to building wealth is to build that spread from your cost of living. And to do that, you must increase your income. Number six, set it and forget it. Automation is one of the biggest secret weapons between those who accumulate $1 million or more versus those who don't. Because once you are living below your means and earning more money, you need to invest. Many financial advisors share the sentiment that the best thing for people to do is to set up automatic contributions to their investment accounts. For example, you can transfer a set dollar amount every single month like clockwork to your investment account. There's also a psychological advantage to this approach. Because when your investments are automated, you begin to view them as non-negotiable parts of your bills, like rent, food, gas, and other things. This mindset shift is critical for long-term success. And number 7, my personal favorite, is to avoid lifestyle creep. One of my favorite books of all time is The Millionaire Next Door. And one of the most eye-opening parts of that book is that most millionaires live like, well, normal people. They don't drive flashy cars, they don't wear flashy clothes, and they don't really flaunt their wealth in many ways. They understand that accumulating assets is more important than showing off. Here's a reality check. The Joneses, as in keeping up with the Joneses, well, they're often broke. They may look wealthy, but appearances can be deceiving. Real wealth is what you don't see. It's the investment accounts, the retirement accounts, the real estate. Well, I guess you can kind of see real estate, but the real estate you don't see, not the flashy cars and not the designer clothes. So there you have it. 7 of the most common pieces of advice on how to become a millionaire given to me by more than 10,000 financial advisors. What do you think? Is there anything you would add? Is there anything I missed? I'm sure there's a lot that I missed. Let me know in the comments below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you.